so I picked up Richard, and he came in from England, and let me grab something out of my office, and we're going to run over to the Golden Hill over here and check out the wings first. So I'll be right back. All right, let's go check out the wings. Yeah, so we thought we'd just start over here in Golden Hill and check the wings out. I think, like I said, I think just the two wings. There's a prop there, which I think we decided that is not usable. So you think potentially the hub is something that we can find? Or?
I think we can find it. We might even have one anyway.
Okay.
We need to have a bit of a look around. I mean, the hubs are out there. They're simply because we found a lot of the stuff doing the Tempest 2 is actually out there because no one's ever really gone looking for it.
Yeah, huh. And right now, so you got the Tempest 2 flying with a Centaurus.
Yes.
No other one out there exists.
Nope.
And is there any other Tempests out there with?
Yeah, there's a company up in Canada who are doing a Tempest 2 but with a 2800 in it.
Yeah, okay.
Which is really nearly finished. I mean, it looks great. It looks awesome. And other than that, there's a couple of projects around, but that's it really.
Coffee with me.
Glass hammer. You never know when you might need one. So it's best to
Okay. That's our old balloon gondola. Here's the prop that apparently we're not going to have to worry about. That's one wing right there, and this is the other wing right here.
Yep.
Okay, now I sent you pictures, and like I said, there's, you know, just start digging through, and I'll walk around. I think that's all we've got over here that's Tempest.
Yep. Yeah, because the Tempest 2 props up there on that number 20 shelf. Just where with the 20 on it, that's the Tempest 2 prop. And essentially, the hub that we need is exactly the same as that hub.
Oh, really?
Yep, it's the same hub for both.
Oh, okay.
So it'd be well worth having a look through your prop stash to see if there's one of them.
Okay, and you
So
said...
you can see this has got, you see those carcellations built into the prop.
Right.
That's what makes that hub the wrong hub. But essentially, I gave my prop guy, who's a guy called Rupert Lazy from Hercules Propeller, I gave him that number. He looked that up, because normally, you know, hubs are kind of used on quite a few things, but inherently the blades are specific to an aircraft.
Right.
So he looked these blades up, and they're off a Nord nor Atlas.
Oh, okay.
So he was then able to go backwards from that, look up what the hub will be, and figure out that unfortunately, it isn't any use.
All right.
But I say it isn't any use, but it should No, it isn't any use, I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, no, but it'll look good hanging on
We might be able to pull the drive centre out of it, which is essentially that bit with the splines in it.
Right.
And reuse that, but I don't even think that's going to work because it looks very different.
Well, it'll look good hanging in a bar somewhere.
Polish these up, they look really nice. Right, well, I've got a phone.
Yeah, and so the gear's here, you know, because you were concerned that maybe the gear wasn't here.
Yeah. So
And, you know, I mean, we've got a little bit of weather here today, but maybe it'll be sunnier tomorrow if we want to come back.
So when I looked at these last time, I couldn't quite get why the underside skins have been blind riveted on, because
Well, see, that's part of what needs to happen. Maybe at the time.
you can back them. Like, it's hard.
Yeah.
They're a huge pain to drill out, because what happens is you start drilling them and then the drill bit grabs and they spin, and the second they spin you're making the hole bigger, so you've got to be careful getting them out. But I mean, you know, it's not a big job to get
But
them
the
out.
reality
and I think
is
that's what we do.
They're all
We just-
flat skins too.
Just take that, yeah, we just take the whole bottom off, and then we can get to everything and kind of go again. Oh dear, yeah, very ugly job of sealing the fuel tanks as well. They probably don't leak though, in all fairness. The thing, see, I remember these, I mean, it was a long time ago, but when we were over at Bentwaters and Ralph Hull was at Bentwaters, I saw these wings being done, and you know, I kind of recollect seeing the wings, you know, vertically in a kind of fixture before these bottom skins went
Right.
on, and I looked at it and thought, what a lovely job. Before these bottom skins went
Right.
on, and I looked at it and thought, what a lovely job.
Yeah.
So, and looking in there, I mean, that's a lovely job. That which has been done in there is really, really nice.
Well, one of the things that I think is going to need some attention is, you know, of course, we want to put the 20mm cannons in there.
for sure.
And I think Ralph didn't have any drawings to do it, so he kind of like did the best he could.
Oh, okay. Well, we've got the drawings, so that's
Yeah, okay. Well, at some point, originality is what we're looking for.
yeah. Check these part numbers and make sure that I'm sure they are Tempest legs, because there'd be no reason for
Well,
them not to be.
remember, these are 2 wings converted to 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the 2 wings were complete, I think. I mean, I've probably got some pictures of them somewhere, but
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, it's just what your dad had.
Yeah, I know Ralph always complained that my dad had picked literally the worst set of Tempest 2 wings to retain.
Huh.
But that's because when the Tempest 2s went, they, you know, it was obvious which wings were from which aeroplane. So,
Right. So were these wings out of the India batch?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, it came out of
A Puna.
Puna.
Or whatever, whatever,
Yeah.
whatever it's called now.
God, man,
Yeah,
Doug Arnold hauled up about 8 of them back,
Yeah,
didn't he?
absolutely.
But they'd been sitting there for a while, hadn't they?
Yeah, the wings were inside though, as I understand it.
Okay.
The fuselages were out, but the wings were in.
Huh, good for us.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I mean, I knew there was a project, Tempest 2 project in New Zealand that somebody started, then he got killed in a
and
Barren.
that's the one that went to Canada.
Oh, that's the one that went to Canada, and they're putting a 2800 in it.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
And I get why they're doing it, because the Centaurus is not an
Yeah.
easy engine to deal with. So, and it gets the aeroplane flying, and
Yeah.
it's, you know, unless you're very used to dealing with whatever the collective noun for Centaurus is, Centauri, then it's a bit of a battle. See, it's a really nice job. I really think the answer is, maybe show me this dent you were talking about on the leading edge.
Yeah.
But I really think the answer is that, hang on. The leading edge has been put together wrong, which is a common problem because it's hard to do. But you need to build the leading edge and then put it on. And it's been put, the skin's been put on after the leading edge. So you've got to pull the leading edge off. But you know,
Okay.
that's not a big deal either. But it's, I mean, by the looks of it, we're really just talking about external skin issues
Right. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, good. Well, yeah, and then whatever you need to do for the, you know, for the cannon thing.
Yeah, which is just putting the stuff that goes off these big chunky brackets, just putting it back in.
Yeah, yeah. Spider-Man.
Sorry, the torch is still on.
Yeah, so the cannons go here.
Yeah, they're.
And he's got we got the holes up front for him, and my assumption is they stick out a little bit, don't they?
No.
Oh, they don't stick out at all.
On the Tempest, they're I think the early ones stuck out a bit, the first few, but this will definitely be
Inside.
flush mounted.
Okay, huh?
Yeah, those pop rivets are. Those blind rivets are.
Yeah, well, if they weren't supposed to be blind rivets, then that, see, now here, if you look on the front here, the leading edge is all blind riveted.
That's wrong. And it was a lot of effort on the Tempest too. And I say it like we did it, and we didn't.
Yeah, okay.
We subcontracted the job out because we were going really quickly. And that's one of the things that was learnt, was that you can splice this skin, because this would have been stretch formed over a huge buck, and obviously a skin of that length.
Right.
Funnily enough, we haven't got that buck, but you can make it. You can splice it about there and make that half and make that half if you need to, and you can't. You'll never notice the splice.
Oh, there's a splice right there.
Oh, yeah, well then it has been spliced then.
Yeah, okay.
But it's not. Oh no, it's just an optical illusion with the. But yeah, the blind rivets are not right.
Yeah,
So
I
particularly
don't know.
here, I mean, all of that is just wrong, and they're not. You can feel they're well below the skin line, so they just need to come out.
Okay.
And we might have to make that again, but it's been done.
Okay, I don't know why that was on there, if it was for the way it was shipped or whatever, but I think the ding I was looking at, for a big deal, but if the skin's coming off, I'm like, why didn't this just get rolled out or something? You know, I'm just going to put some Bondo on it.
It's just rubbish, though. I mean, we wouldn't ever. You know, we do one or two things with dents. We either get them out or we embrace them. You know, it's an aeroplane.
Yeah,
particularly if it's a real aeroplane, they're real dents. So.
Yeah, that was always my dating MO. What are you finding?
I just know that we're going to have to take them completely apart to look at them really properly. So
take what completely? The bottom?
The bottom.
Yeah, yeah.
So
no.
Sorry.
At this point,
I just spoke to my guy. So we sent ours to Airframe Assemblies to be redone because we were in such a rush. There was no need to, you know, in the grand scheme of things. If we'd known the carburettor on the Tempest 2 that we were going to be waiting for a diaphragm for 2 years, we would have done those wings ourselves.
Right.
But airframes were quite busy, so I actually sent 2 guys down there to rivet them all up. And they found, I've just spoken to him on the phone, and he said they got a concession to put 12 blind rivets in each wing. And that was it.
Oh, you mean from the...
From our mod people, basically.
Right.
12 rivets per wing that you can't back. Well, you've got 1,000 blind rivets. So we need to, everywhere you see one of them, we've got to take it out.
Well, okay, but you know, in the Hawker Sea Fury, they used a lot of them.
They loved it, didn't they?
Yeah.
The whole bottom of the tailplane, they're everywhere.
But I mean, when you...
We can take a view on it.
Yeah, but if but the reality is, I mean, from an FAA point of view, but if that's the way it was and you can do it, then just do it right.
Look at the Tempest 2 wings and you can see, and it's not hard to do. It's genuinely not hard to do.
Okay.
The access is really very good.
Okay.
I mean, there's a couple that get you swearing, and a couple of finger shredders, but it's not a big deal. And it's not, from where they are now, it's honestly not a big job to do it properly.
Okay.
It really isn't.
Yeah, okay.
And
but, you know, the reality is the thing sat for a long time. There might be some questionable things here. It needs to be opened up and done
this
right.
Is it.
That's the bottom line.
So you're killing 2 birds with one stone, really. You're opening it up so that you can see absolutely everything.
Yeah.
And then when you put it back together, you put it back together the right way.
Yeah. And unlike maybe some of your customers, I'm not in a hurry.
That's good. Well,
my focus is done right, not done fast.
I think the thing that's going to define how long it takes is the noisy bit up the front.
Yeah,
So,
no, exactly.
And however long that takes, we'll make sure the rest is ready in time.
Yeah, but you know, here's the deal from my perspective. if I would love to see the airplane sitting in the hangar looking like it's ready to fly.
Yep.
And if the worst case basis is you sit in it and it looks like it would go, and it's got a motor up front that's not going to work because nobody's had one running since the 50s.
It'll work, don't worry.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
There's no doubt about that.
well, we'll cross
It'll
that bridge
work,
when
or
we
I'll
get
make
there.
it work.
But
I'll
it's
force it to work.
But it's got to be safe.
Of course.
And the other thing is, at some point it's like, okay, you get it flying, how much do you flying, because it's so frickin' rare. I mean, I'd love to see it flying, blah, blah, blah.
It's a fine line, because that sleeve valve is a thing that needs using. And if you leave it alone for too long, then you probably need to partially at least revisit it. So with the 2 Centauruses that we're now operating, we make sure they run once a month.
Oh my God.
Just to keep the oil moving.
Yeah, so...
They're not as bad as I thought they were, is what I would say.
Say again?
They're not as bad as I thought they were.
Yeah, good,
And it's great that they've got this sealant in. That's ugly. I don't know, that's up to you. That's like a personal preference thing. I mean, I can pressure test that tank and it's probably fine.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if I see shit like that, I just take it off and do it again. Because that sealant there, I mean, that has been... Stevie Wonder put that on, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can do it really nicely.
Oh, I see.
And the tank I can see in the underside of the wing has just been done.
Yeah, we just look at it. It needs to be done right. It needs to be done safe.
It's not a huge job to do it right.
Yeah.
From where they are. I mean, the real point is the tank's done.
Yeah.
And then the sealant's been put on badly. So we just take the sealant off and redo it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look terrible.
Yeah.
But it's great that it's done already. I mean, that is a huge job, that tank.
Yeah.
And the tanks in the wing, they are a big job.
Yeah.
So it's good that they're already there and done. Well, it's there in the other wing.
What are these 2 things for? And I don't see them on the other wing.
Cannon access.
Are they on the other wing?
Yes, they are. If they're not, they will be.
They're not there. Oh, yeah, they are.
They've got the panels.
Yeah,
they're Cannon. The Sea Fury's got them too.
Yeah, okay.
And obviously that's a fuel filler cap. And other than that, those are your fuel tank mounting.
Huh.
That's how you drop the fuel tank out the bottom.
Huh. And I'm wondering why there are no Tempest V wings left on the planet, And so the RAF Museum has one at Hendon, but they've got Tempest 2 wings on them too. But the cool part about it is the 2 has got the radiator in the wing, and it's a little more complicated. So if you want to make a 5 wing, it's got the big scoop radiator.
Yep.
It's easier to make a 5 wing out of a 2 than a 2 wing out of a 5.
Definitely. And a 5's going to go faster, I think, as well, because it's got the totally clean wing, minus the cannons.
Yeah, but it's got that big open mouth in the front.
It'll be fine. I think that'll generate thrust.
Oh my God.
We, the British, were quite clever at making thrust out of the radiator, so
as
was the Mustang. It's the same thing.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so no, look, fundamentally, not as bad as I thought.
Yeah, okay.
And there's a bit of work in them, but it's not disastrous.
Yeah, okay, good.
And we know that they fit on the fuselage because they've been put on.
Yeah.
So that's great news.
Yeah.
I've spoken to my NDT guys about, if we pull the bottom skins off and the leading edge, and they can get access to the complete wing spar assembly and just x-ray the lot and just be sure that there's no hidden corrosion, and then we just put it back, make sure it's all the right colour inside, deal with the cannon stuff and put it all back together right.
So now you had wing jigs for the Tempest 2 wings.
Correct.
Are these going to fit that or just slight modification?
Yeah, they'll fit that.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Good.
So now we're all set with that. And I've spoken to the owner of the Tempest 2 and he's on side, so
cool. And you guys got access, somebody can make cannons.
We'll figure that out. I've got some cannons actually.
Okay.
But we'll figure that out.
Yeah. Put some shells in there and make,
absolutely. I've definitely got the shells and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So, the question was, the gun heating that would have been in there.
Okay.
Please tell me you don't want that, because that's a nightmare.
Oh, really?
Loads of ducting which comes from, it runs off obviously engine heat. But it would all run in so you've got your aileron control mechanism along the back of this rear spar.
Right.
And the ducting for the gun heating runs kind of through there. And it's that 2-inch round aluminium stuff, quite thin walls.
Right.
Hard to work with. I've got some of it, but in an ideal, we can have a look at it.
Yeah, but you know, fantasy flight's all about going beyond yourself.
It is. It's true. It's true. We can do it. Like, I mean, it was done once. It can be done again.
Yeah.
It's just.
Oh my God. Well, of course, if we're flying it in Florida, we don't really need gun heat, do we?
I think the answer is with all of this stuff is that can always come later.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
when we've got it apart, we'll provision for it.
Yeah, okay.
So anything that's going to get buried or whatever, we'll make sure is in there.
All right.
And then if I just don't want to, I mean, it'll all be in the Tempest 2, so we can copy it.
Oh.
You know, it'll all be in there for sure.
Oh, awesome.
Same system.
Huh.
So, I mean,
is there something you could look at and see it? See if it's
yeah,
in there?
probably.
Yeah.
Maybe it doesn't have it.
Yeah. Well, of course, remember, this was a test airplane.
Yeah.
And I would assume it would have had cannons in it.
I've only ever seen it on the drawing, in the schematic.
Okay.
I've not seen it. It wasn't in the Tempest 2 wings that we did.
You know, as I remember, when I bought this at the auction, it had the cannons in it. And they had to take them out for me to ship it out of the country. So it had the cannons in it.
Did it have blisters on the leading edge of the wing? Did the cannons stick out? Or were they flush?
I can't remember. I'm thinking they were flush.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But if you go back and look at pictures of when it was at Duxford,
yeah.
and I'm like, I probably bought this about, I'm just going to say 1985 at an auction at Christie's. It was at Duxford. And none of the Brits were interested in it. I paid 110,000 pounds for this.
Good deal.
And it was a World War II test airplane.
Yeah, it's a really cool airplane.
Oh my God.
You know, of all of the Tempest 2s, it's got some serious history, isn't it?
Yeah. That was a World War II airplane. The rest of them were all post-war used. So.
Yeah, so there you can see from those that they're definitely Tempest. The main difference being that's made of, I mean, they're all, typically everything with the Tempest, as you probably kind of get, does not cross over from the Sea Fury.
Oh, okay.
It all looks almost exactly the same.
But it's not.
It's all just a tiny bit different.
I'll be darned.
Everything.
Huh.
Well, you know, minus, you know, things like the hydraulic rams for the gear and the flat one that's in there, you can reuse them. But that's
But they were learning as they went.
Of course
you know?
they were.
And they were trying to improve things.
Subtle changes, yeah, definitely. But
all right. Well, let's go look at the fuselage. Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, you know, fundamentally it's good news on these things.
Good. Awesome. That's good.